Top 10 toy small dog breeds, why they dominate globally and why most owners get them wrong. Small doesn't mean easy. Toy breeds weren't built to be passive accessories. They were built to survive, manipulate, and adapt under pressure most big dogs never even faced. By the end of this video, you'll understand why small dogs dominate global ownership and why their survival instincts are sharper than their size suggests, and why owners who treat them like toys accidentally create the biggest behavioral wrecks in the dog world. I'm Yana. What toy and small breeds were built for? Small dogs weren't bred for decoration. They were survival specialists, engineered to alert for danger, maintain emotional proximity to humans, survive in small, resource-limited environments, enforce social rules in densely packed human communities. Now, their instincts include sharp threat detection, persistent social management, fast defensive reactions. And when treated like objects instead of survival-driven animals, their brains don't shut off, they escalate. Now let's talk about top 10 toy small breeds, real survival purpose, and of course, collapse reality. Number 10, miniature schnauzer, built for vermin control, farm alert dog companion guardian. Why popular? Small enough for apartments, tough enough for serious work. But the reality collapse without structured leadership and working outlets, mini schnauzers default into loud, persistent watchdog behaviors and obsessive motion chasing. Number 9, Boston Terrier, bred from Bulldog and Terrier ancestors, originally for fighting, later companionship. Why popular? Compact size, low grooming, stable energy when structured. But the reality collapse without firm boundaries. Boston Terriers escalate into pushy boundary pushing comedians. Charming but mentally exhausting without emotional control work. Number 8, French Bulldog, built for red hunting and being emotional companion in tight urban environments. Why popular? Urban-friendly size, expressive face, perceived low exercise needs. But the reality collapse, Frenchies without structured obedience and environmental exposure become stubborn, defensive manipulators, complicated by serious respiratory fragility. Number 7, Maltese, built for alert companion in Mediterranean households, priced for watchdog capacity and emotional monitoring. Why popular? Well, hypoallergenic coat, small size, extreme affection. But the reality collapse, Maltese dogs without calm leadership become chronic barkers, anxious manipulators, and reactivity hotspots over minor environmental changes. Number 6, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, emotional companionship for European aristocracy, lab-based social stability dog. Why popular? Gentle nature, emotional resilience, compatibility with families. But the reality collapse, without structure, emotional detachment training, Cavaliers develop severe separation anxiety, learned helplessness, and emotional fragility toward even minor changes. Number 5, Shih Tzu, palace watchdogs and lap dogs in Chinese courts, emotional monitors and early alert systems. Why popular? Small, charming, less driven by intense chase or garden instincts compared to terriers. But the reality collapse, without consistent independence training, Shih Tzus drift into chronic passive resistance, stubbornness, and emotional withdrawal when overwhelmed. Number 4, Pug, emotional companionship and early social humor dog in Chinese royal courts. Why popular? Comic expressions, perceived easygoing nature, small space compatibility. But the reality collapse, without strong leadership, pugs swing into constant attention-seeking behaviors, emotional collapses when not cuddled, and chronic obesity through stress eating compensations. Number 3, Yorkshire Terrier, built for vermin control in textile mills and households, extreme independence and feistfulness compacted into small frame. Why popular? Big personality in tiny body, long glamorous coat for those who want to maintain it. But the reality collapse, Yorkies without real leadership become reactive barkers, resource guarders, and overprotective toward their owners, micromanaging human behavior constantly. Number 2. Pomeranian. They were alert watchdogs originally and also co-survival companions in Nordic conditions. Why popular? Small size now, fluffy coat, extreme social adaptability. But the reality collapse without clear rules. They default to shrill reactivity, emotional meltdown cycles, and fear-based defensive aggression towards strangers. Number 1. Chihuahua. They were built for primitive survival in Mexico, resource guarding, heat tolerance, emotional social survival inside human groups. Why popular? Affordable size, intense loyalty, viral meme status. But the reality collapse? Chihuahuas treated like babies instead of survival-driven social managers spiral into chronic defensiveness, bite-first reactions, and emotional stress loops under even minor pressure. Now let's do reality check. Why small dogs dominate ownership but fail in homes? Small breeds win in numbers because they fit urban and modern lifestyles, they require less physical maintenance, and they travel and adapt easily. But without serial emotional leadership, small dogs don't stay cute. They harden into survival mode, alarmists managing environments because owners refuse to lead. Size doesn't erase survival instinct, it only concentrates them. If you actually want your small dog to survive and thrive, not spiral into a self-created emotional breakdown, check the full Breed Reality series playlist and comment below what real survival traits you've battled in your small dog. In the next video, we are heading into the battlefield dogs, terriers, the landmines of energy, persistence, and aggression packed into small bodies with bigger missions than most owners ever imagined. Small doesn't mean safe. Small doesn't mean soft. Small means the survival game runs faster and the consequences hit harder when you lose control.